Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And I can't believe it, but the day has finally arrived where Wargaming are giving us a completely free Tier 9 vehicle that you may or may not want. Wargaming have teamed up with Vinnie Jones, who is this year's Holiday Ops Commander, and if you just log into the game and claim the tank inside the gift store from the 22nd of December through to the 1st of January, it'll be yours to keep. That's it. That's all the requirements. Just log into the game and claim it. You don't even have to do any missions or play. So Wargaming have a dedicated video from Vinnie Jones, so I thought we would watch it together. But once again, if you want to see this without my terrible commentary, then check it out on the official channel.
Tankers, thank you for spending another year with us. Everyone who enjoyed playing the game together should also celebrate the holidays together.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, give each other presents.
Oh, we're getting a big present from Wargaming this year. Finally.
Enter the game from December 22nd through December 31st. And grab your gift from Wargaming and Vinnie Jones.
Wow.
Patton the Tank.
Patton the Tank. Is it any good? I'll be letting you know in a second.
This free Tier 9 vehicle awaits you. The gift will be wrapped in bright wrapping paper in the form of a 2D style. That's in your garage. Right now, it's time for a few warm words from our guest.
All right, lads and lasses, Vinnie Jones here, spreading some holiday cheer. First off, happy holidays to all you proper tankers.
Be
cool, play fair, and we'll all have a good time. So, in the spirit of the season, here's to great battles, epic victories, and a smashing good time. Now get those tanks roaring, spread the festive spirit, and show the world what the World of Tanks community is made of.
Yeah.
Cheers, my friends.
Cheers, my friends.
It's been emotional.
It's been emotional. So funny enough, I was actually in the room when Vinnie was recording that. True professional, pretty much did it in a single take. The real deal. So, you're gonna have to grab it. What's this? You could probably hear me clapping and cheering in the background, right? So I'm sure a lot of you out there have alarm bells ringing thinking, is Patton the Tank actually going to be any good? And while you're going to have to wait for this Friday when I give you my full tank review, Wargaming have published all the statistics, and luckily they're also up on TanksGG, so I can give you a little bit of a sneak peek to let you know whether it's something to be excited about. Just before that, there will be a 2D style Patton the Tank that apparently you can move on to a different vehicle if you want. Although I'm sure that most people will keep the Patton the Tank style on Patton the Tank. So just what is Patton the Tank? Well, upon inspecting its armor model, I realized that, it does look a little bit similar to a vehicle that is already in the game. In fact, it is identical to the M48A2/T54E2/T123E6, which is a Tier 10 Clan Wars reward tank. So, wow, something to get exciting about, right? Wargaming are giving us a Tier 10 Clan Wars reward tank and they're dropping it down to Tier 9. Well, that might be the case until you realize that, the armor isn't really the speciality of the M48A2 blah blah blah. And that's because it has a horrible weak point on top that even some large caliber high explosive rounds will have no problem of dealing with. Hull armor that could be penetrated again by very large caliber high explosive rounds. I'm looking at you, FE4005s. And the side armor, while it is well angled, and you will be able to over angle the side of this to be able to pull off some miracle ricochets, yeah, it's overmatched along the lower plate by along the lower of the side, I should say, by 120 millimeters, and the back can also be overmatched as well. So the armor, again, not a strong point of this vehicle. So hopefully Patton the Tank has retained all of the firepower that makes the M48T54E2 special at Tier 10. Well, unfortunately, that's not really the case. We're going to be comparing Patton the Tank to the M48T54E2 and the M46 Patton, the Tier 9 American medium tank that this thing will be competing with. So immediately we notice that Patton the Tank, it has 120mm, which is an advantage over the M46 for when you want to overmatch 35mm side plates, but its damage per minute is 2,051. That is significantly lower. We're talking about 30% lower than the M46 Patton. Its penetration, however, at 242 is great for a Tier 9 medium tank, and its gold rounds have 300mm of pen compared to the Patton's lowly 265. So this thing will be pretty good for dealing damage to well-armored targets. But I just really can't get over the fact that this thing just has such bad damage per minute for a Tier 9 medium. It's going to have one of the worst damage per minutes of any Tier 9 medium. And also, it doesn't carry that much ammunition at 36. So later on in the battle, unless this thing has pinpoint accuracy, you're going to be starting to run out of either your standard rounds or your premium rounds. So the gun handling of this vehicle, it's not good news. 2.5 seconds aim time is poor. The dispersion when moving and when turning the turret is very poor. And the accuracy is poor, even worse than the M46 Patton. That's not a strong point on that tank. Luckily, this tank does have 10 degrees of gun depression, which will allow you to work a ridgeline well, but even when you are using your 10 degrees of gun depression, your weak point is still well and truly exposed. Mobility, not a strong point of Patton the Tank either. It's slow forwards and slow backwards for a medium tank. It's actually even slower than the heavy tank here, the M48/T54E2 in this comparison. And while its ground resistances are good, its power to weight ratio isn't good for a medium tank. Also, it's got bad turret traverse and bad tank traverse as well, which means it's going to be a slow, cumbersome medium tank. In fact, I have to just scroll up. Is this in fact a medium? Yes, it is. I've already talked through the armor on this vehicle, and as you can see, it is identical to the M48T54E2. And I'd say all in all, the armor on this vehicle, while it's probably better on the hull compared to a Patton because you can over-angle the side, I'd say the Patton probably has the all-round better turret because it doesn't have that great weak point on top. The hit points are pretty good at 1,700, so it's going to be able to take a hit or two. It's just not going to bounce anything. And when we took a look at the camera rating of this vehicle, it is really not good news. This vehicle has horrendous camera rating. It's sub 6 when moving, which means that it's easily going to be spotted. And on top of this, the vehicle only has 380 meters view range, which means that unless you have a really good crew, a premium consumable, and vents on this vehicle, you won't be getting up to decent view range parameters. So, unfortunately, it is looking like Patton the Tank is probably going to be one of the worst tier 9 vehicles in the game. So I'm sure a lot of you will be interested in what exactly the sell price of this vehicle will be. As most tier 9 tanks, you can sell them for about 3.5 million credits. However, whether Wargaming is going to let that one slip into the game remains to be seen. So maybe that means that Patton the Tank will be more than just a free garage slot. Maybe it will allow you to spend those credits to purchase something in Wargaming sales that will most likely be happening later on in the year. But I can tell you, you really want to play the game this Friday in tier 9 or tier 10 tanks with the influx of these into the matchmaker. There is going to be some seriously easy farming. So all in all, it's really cool that Wargaming are giving us a free tier 9 reward vehicle, and whether you choose to sell it or not will be down to you as a player. A lot of people will want to keep it as a tank collector, or alternatively use it to be able to train up their American medium crews, although there are already quite a lot of very good tier 8 premiums in the game for doing that, such as the Astron Rex, for example. However, I think most importantly, the phrase "never look a gifted horse in the mouth" is just perfect, right? Wargaming are giving everyone who logs into the game during the Christmas period a free tier 9 vehicle, and I think that is really cool. So thank you very much to you, Wargaming, for this awesome gift for the community. It's definitely a way better than the well-deserved reward failure, I think, with the Panzer IV-F. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, wait for my full review of Patton the Tank this Friday with gameplay included. And remember, if you want to get your hands on what eventually might be, I'm not sure we're going to call this a collector's gem, but maybe some collector's coal, then log into the game from this Friday, the 22nd of December, through to January the 1st, although it ends at midnight, and you can claim the gift and keep it forever. Anyway, that's it for today, ladies and gents. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know what you think about Patton the Tank in the comments down below. Do you think it's really cool that Wargaming are giving a gift? Or do you think that a gift with this kind of statistics is not worth having? And what are you going to do with the vehicle? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.